Hey folks, how you guys doing? Hope you're all having a great Tuesday as usual. Today is my 30th birthday, and because it's my 30th birthday, I'll give you guys 30% off any one of my project plans. So just use the promo code Old Man on my website if you'd like to buy any of my plans today. 30% off any of them, all of them, whatever. But anyway, I figured I'd throw a sales pitch at you real quick. The last video I put out was on, I keep saying we. The past couple weeks I've said we. It's just me. The last video I put out was on the lathe cart, kind of readjusting some stuff in it. The drawers, incredibly handy. Should have done that a long time ago. But like I said, when I originally made it, I didn't know how I was going to actually be using it. So that was okay to put it off. The bed extension I thought I would use, never really used at all. Some people said I should have left that on there. Well, if you make long stuff, sure. I've never made anything long, and if I have the need to make something long on the lathe, I can always just put it back on there. The grinder's super handy on that particular cart with the lathe. Some people said I should flip it around so that the lathe is on the right side, grinder is on the left side. Well, if I wasn't recording video, that would make much sense. That would make a lot of sense. But because I do record a little bit with the lathe, and I really just like to keep it in that corner, you know, kind of pull it out on a 45-degree angle, but still keep it in that corner. If the lathe was on the right-hand side, then I would be in the right-hand side, and it would be kind of awkward to get, it would be a little bit more awkward for camera angles and such. So leaving the lathe on the left side and the grinder on the right just makes more sense for video purposes only. And then also, if I do put the bed extension back on, then I won't have to move the lathe back to the other side. Anyway, I think it's going to be all right. Some other common things that came up. Kind of a question: you never nick your hand on those upturned chisels when grabbing one? No, I never have. I know that the points are at a certain spot, and you just don't put your hands where the points go. Anytime I reach for one of those tools, I reach for the handles or below the point anyway. There's no need for me to move my hands up and over the tools, so there's no real opportunity for an accident to happen as far as cutting myself. And if I do cut myself, it is, like I said, an accident. So with the tools down there on the cart, I don't think it was a problem. With the tools up on the shelf, it's even less of a problem. Come on, Jay, you need to turn your own drawer pulls, man. I thought about turning my own drawer pulls, but at the same time, I've got a whole bin full of salvaged drawer pulls from certain things here and there that need to be used, and that's fine. Just use what you have. You also might want to add some weight to the cart for turning out of balanced logs. That's kind of like a, there's two sides to that coin. I don't want to add a lot of weight to the lathe or bolt it down. Someone else said to bolt the lathe down as well. I don't want to, because if I'm turning stuff that is that far out of round, just slow it down. It's got variable speed. Well, if it is bolted down to something heavy, if the cart is heavier and it is bolted down, then you could get away with using a little bit more speed and just turn a little bit quicker. But then you put more wear and tear on the headstock bearings, I think. So I don't think it really matters. I think it's 6 one way, half a dozen the other. Yes, you could speed the process up just slightly, but at the same time, you lose the convenience of being able to just lift it up and go, take it with you if you wanted to, and then also more wear and tear on the headstock bearings. So I don't think it really matters one way or the other. 6 one way, half a dozen the other. I like that saying. Tomato, tomato, or potato, potato. Could you do a review on your grinder with the CBN wheels and the Wolverine-ish setup in a tool talk or as a separate video? There's not much to talk about right there. I do have a Rikon slow speed grinder, and I do have the CBN wheels. The reason I got the CBN wheels was because it's pretty much lifetime use. You don't have to dress them. It's zero maintenance, and they pretty much last forever. I had the same concept with, or the same thought process with sharpening for my hand planes and chisels and such. And pretty much anything else that's straight and needs a good edge. I've got DMT diamond plates. I tried using water stones, but user error, my fault. I kept gouging them on accident. And then you got to flatten them. Well, if you have to use something super flat to flatten the stones, why not just use that super flat thing to sharpen? That was my kind of thought process on it. So I use DMT diamond plates for my hand planes and chisels. That same concept is what I thought of with the, or is what I gravitated towards, I guess you could say, with the grinder and the CBN wheels upon a massive amount of recommendations from everybody else. Yes, they are a little bit more expensive, but you don't have to, there's zero maintenance so long as you use the proper metals when you're actually, like high-speed steel, when you're actually grinding. And then also, they'll last forever. So it's kind of a one and done kind of thing. It's a little bit more expensive, yes, but I don't want to mess with it. So that's what that is. It's just a Rikon slow speed grinder and CBN wheels. I mentioned in last week's video about this number 7 Stanley Bailey plane jointer, whatever you want to call it, corrugated bottom. It turned out really, really nice. I didn't go like full-blown restoration. As far as the rust removal, it turned out really nice. It's a little bit newer, judging by my research. I haven't boiled down a date on it just yet, but I've been messing around with it, and me likey. So I think I'm going to this week make a shooting board for the larger Bedrock 608 that I mentioned again last week, and give it back to him as kind of like a, it's got sentimental value to him, so I'd like to give it back to him. But I was debating, because he's never going to use it. Like I said, it's got sentimental value. It's probably just going to sit up on a shelf. I was debating actually making like a little display case for it, as well as a shooting board. He might use it with the shooting board for touching up some small stuff, but other than that, he'll probably store it. So maybe some type of display case plus a shooting board. Maybe just a shooting board. I don't know. But anyway, I've got a couple other things, quick items that I'm going to put on my second channel this week and next week regarding some other old tools and just some quick tip kind of ideas. So that's it. You guys take care. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.
Yeah!